Hello there everyone and welcome to another edition of Lydia's Crafty Corner with me, Lydia, in my little crafty corner. So today we're going to be creating this card, which is very pretty, but when you open it up you're going to be able to see that it is like a double-sided beautiful layered die cut inside as well. So to start with, I am going to be using the fabulous layered wood flower. This is the new one that was released yesterday, and you can see that we have two different layers for the flower, a center and then also leaves, but we're not going to be using those leaves. So to start with, I'm going to cut 6 of the base layers, and I'm going to cut this base layer from the Frosty Pink cardstock. Now that one is from the Red Cosmos Gradient cardstock set, and I'm going to cut this 6 times, so I have 6 of the base layers, so we can have 3 on the front and then also 3 on the inside of the card. For the second layer, I'm going to be using the beautiful Coral Berry cardstock. Again, that is from the Red Cosmos set. And I'm going to be using my little metal shim, so this cuts perfectly the first time. It's just going to add a little bit of extra pressure through my mini blossom die cut machine to make sure that all of those little delicate pieces get cut properly. I don't need to worry about it on the first one because it's just one simple shape. I'm then going to move on to the centerpieces. Now the one with the circular centerpiece is the one that's going to go on the bottom, so I'm going to cut that from my lightest cardstock, so that's going to be the caramel toffee colour, and then the second layer I'm going to cut from the paper bag. Now both of these coloured cardstocks are from the beautiful Summer Afternoon Gradient cardstock set, so you know that these are going to work together. So once I've done those, all I'm going to do is pop out all of those little pieces, and then I'm going to again cut them so we have 6 of those as well, 1 for each of the flowers. So once I have finished with those, I can then move on to the leaves. Now, when I thought about the leaves, I didn't want to add any more layers to this, so I decided to go with the Just Leaves die set. So these are going to be nice and flat. So the cardstock I'm using with these ones is the Forest Glades. So this is one that you can get in the larger size, the letter size, and it's a really great colour to do your leaves in. So once I've cut this first lot of leaves, I then decided to cut another load of leaves. So I have another piece of the Forest Glades, and again I'm just going to play with them on the plate to see which ones are going to fit in there. So once I have all of these cut, I then have all of my pieces. Now for these base layers, I'm going to turn 3 of them over. And for also the second layer, I'm going to turn 3 of those over as well. So I have 3 flowers going in one way and then 3 flowers going in the other. So they're kind of going to be in a mirror image of the other ones. So once I've done that, I'm then going to add them all together. So I'm going to add the second layer onto the base layer. I'm just using my Altenew tape pen just to pop these in place. This is my favorite glue. It works so well and it is very clean to use too. So these are the ones that we're going to pop on the wrong way. So these ones are going to be the back of the die cuts, but they still look very pretty. So I'm going to pop them in place, and then once I have all 6 of those done, I can then move on to the centers. Now for the centers, I'm just going to do them all in the same way. I'm not going to flip them over. I don't think it makes much difference to the look of the flower, having which way these are going. But if you do place them in a little bit of a jaunty angle when you pop them on your flower, it does mean that the flower looks as though it's opening in a different way. I'm then going to move on to my card base, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 inches away from that score line that we have in the center, and that's going to give us a little bit of a little fold there. And I'm going to cut this piece again to 2 inches so we can have that going to be layered on top of that one. So once I've done that, I then have a piece of vellum, which is 4 1/4 and 5 1/2, and I'm just going to add this into place where the whole sheet should be. So I'm just lining that up on the edge of the card and then popping that down with some glue on that little flap that we have there. Again, I'm going to add some of the glue to that flap, and we're going to cover that up so you're not going to be able to see any of the adhesive there. Once that's done, you can see how pretty that looks there. I can add in my little flowers. So these are the ones that are facing the right way, so the ones that are how it's supposed to be. And I'm going to pop them into place using some foam tape. So I'm just going to add that to the back, remove the back, and then just pop that into place. So when I turn this over, you can see that you're going to be able to see the adhesive from the inside of the card. Now that's where the other 3 flowers that are the mirror image of the other ones come into play. So I'm just going to pop these into place with some glue tape. Now I didn't want any added dimension on the inside of this card, just so it cuts, just so it shuts properly. So before I stick that down properly, I am going to add a little bit more glue under here, and then I can kind of just push the leaves under, and the glue that's on the back of the flower is going to keep that leaf in place there. And when we open the card, you're going to be able to see those leaves, but they're going to kind of be a little bit lighter because we do have the vellum there, which is going to soften the look of them. So I'm just lining these die cuts up with the ones that are on the front, so you're not going to be able to see them when the card is closed. Again, with the ones on the front, you're not going to be able to see the ones on the back when it is closed either, just the leaves that are popping out from under them. So once I have all of those in place, I can then add some leaves to the front, and I'm just going to add the glue to the tops of the leaves, and I'm going to kind of squish this behind the flowers and make sure that these are stuck into place behind the flowers. If the leaf clusters are a little bit large for how you want them, all you can do is just take a little bit of a scissor and just chop off the bits that you don't require. So I'm just going to pop these into place. Again, I can stick these ones down properly, but the ones that are going to go over the vellum, you do want to squish those onto the flowers there. So once that's done, I can then cut the overlaying pieces off. For the sentiment, I've used this one from the Circled Sentiment stamp set. I've stamped that in Obsidian ink and then die cut it before adding it on with some foam tape. So just look how pretty the finished card is on the front, and also when you open it up as well. So I really do hope that you like the card and that you've enjoyed the video with the techniques involved. If you do create a card inspired by this, it would be great if you do share, because we would love to see. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you again really soon. Have a beautifully crafty day. Bye-bye. Hello there, crafty friend, Lydia here. Just popping in to say that you can get your daily dose of crafting tips, techniques, and tutorials just like this by subscribing to the Altenew YouTube channel. All you need to do is click on that little bell up there and you will never miss a video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.